Mind Whisper Stories presents
Billionaires mocked the cleaner until her voice left the entire room crying. Shoes, head lowered, heart heavy, like she didn't belong in their world. And maybe that was exactly how they wanted her to feel. What nobody knew was that this invisible cleaner carried a secret powerful enough to destroy one of the biggest celebrities in America. A secret buried for 10 years. A stolen voice, a dying sister, and a lie worth millions of dollars. But before this night ended, the woman they mocked would make the entire room cry, and the superstar they worshipped would lose everything. Before we dive deeper, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. The Brooks Grand Hotel glittered like a palace. Crystal chandeliers reflected across polished marble floors. Rich donors laughed loudly beside champagne towers. Famous influencers posed for cameras. Politicians shook hands with billionaires. And hidden beneath all that luxury, Elena Brooks pushed a mop slowly across the floor. Nobody looked at her twice. To them, she was just another cleaner, another invisible worker, another person who existed only to clean up after important people. But Elena wasn't paying attention to the guests. Her mind was somewhere else entirely, because inside her pocket, her phone kept vibrating. And deep down, she already feared the worst. Elena stepped quietly into the hallway outside the ballroom. The loud music faded behind the doors. Her trembling fingers answered the call, saying,
"Did you eat today?"
Don't worry about me, Lily.
But she wasn't okay. Not even close. The hospital bills were destroying them. Lily's treatment costs kept rising every month. And Elena had already sold almost everything she owned. Her dreams, her music, her future, all gone, just to keep her sister alive a little longer. Tonight's paycheck from the gala mattered more than anyone there could imagine. Because if Elena lost this job, she might lose Lily too. Suddenly, the ballroom exploded with screams. The giant doors swung open dramatically, and Vanessa Vale entered like royalty. Camera flashes lit the room nonstop. Fans rushed forward. Reporters shouted her name. Vanessa smiled perfectly as she glided across the red carpet in a sparkling silver dress. America adored Vanessa Vale. The world called her the voice of a generation. Her songs topped every chart. Her face covered magazine covers. And tonight, she was hosting a charity gala supposedly dedicated to helping sick children, including children like Lily. But fame has a dangerous power. It can make people worship lies, without ever questioning the truth. And tonight, the truth was finally coming. Elena pushed her cleaning cart quietly near the VIP tables. She tried to stay invisible, but Vanessa suddenly stopped walking. Her eyes locked onto Elena. A slow smile appeared on her face. Not kindness, cruelty.
You know what your problem is?
The room slowly became quiet. Guests turned to watch. Then, Vanessa lifted her wine glass and splashed it directly across Elena's face. The room gasped. Some people laughed. Others pulled out their phones. Wine dripped slowly from Elena's hair onto her cleaning uniform.
Now you'll match the trash you clean.
Most people would have cried. Most people would have run away humiliated. But Elena did something unexpected. She slowly lifted her head and stared directly at Vanessa. Not with fear, not with anger, but with the calm expression of someone who already knew how this story would end. Because Elena carried something far more dangerous than revenge. She carried proof. An hour later, the gala performance began. Guests filled the ballroom seats excitedly. The lights dimmed. The host walked proudly onto the stage. Host, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the incredible Vanessa Vale. Thunderous applause exploded. Vanessa stepped onto the stage confidently beneath the spotlight. She lifted the microphone. The music started. But then, everything went wrong. Instead of Vanessa's famous opening vocals, another voice filled the ballroom. Soft, raw, beautiful. A young woman singing with heartbreaking emotion. Vanessa froze instantly. Her face lost all color. The audience looked confused. Then suddenly, The giant LED screens behind Vanessa flickered to life, and the truth appeared for everyone to see. Old studio footage played across the massive screens. A younger Elena stood inside a recording booth, singing the exact song that made Vanessa famous. The ballroom fell silent. Another recording played. Producer recording saying, "Vanessa has the look. We only need your voice." Then another voice. "Young Vanessa. Cold. Heartless." Young Vanessa recording saying, "No one will believe her anyway." Gasps spread across the ballroom. Phones immediately came out. People started recording. Whispers exploded everywhere. Crowd. "Oh my God. That's Elena. She's the real singer." 10 years earlier, Elena Brooks had been discovered as an extraordinary singer. But the music industry didn't want her face. They wanted someone prettier, someone easier to market, someone they could turn into a global brand. So they stole Elena's voice and gave her songs to Vanessa Vale. And Elena? She disappeared, silenced, forgotten, until tonight. The ballroom stood frozen in shock. And through the silence, Elena began walking slowly toward the stage. The same cleaner they mocked earlier. The same woman covered in spilled wine. Every eye followed her now, not because of pity, but because truth has a strange power. People can ignore a person for years, until the moment they realize who that person truly is. Elena stepped onto the stage carefully. Her hands trembled as she reached for the microphone. For a moment, she looked terrified. Then she took a deep breath.
For 10 years, I stayed silent.
The room became completely still. Elena continued. "They said I wasn't beautiful enough, not marketable enough. So they stole my voice and gave it to someone easier to sell." Several guests lowered their heads in shame, because suddenly, they realized something painful. They had spent years worshiping the lie, while ignoring the truth standing right in front of them. The room became completely still. Backstage, Vanessa completely lost control. Her makeup smeared as panic consumed her. Assistants rushed around desperately. Security guards shouted into radios. Vanessa screamed furiously. "Turn it off," she said. "You're ruining everything." But it was too late. The internet was already exploding. Videos spread across social media within seconds. News stations interrupted broadcasts. Millions of people watched the scandal unfold live. And for the first time in her entire career, Vanessa wasn't controlling the spotlight anymore. The truth was, then Elena did something nobody expected. She began to sing. No auto-tune. No backup dancers. No flashing lights. Just her voice. Pure. Emotional. Real. The first note alone shattered the room. People started crying almost immediately. Because Elena didn't sing like a celebrity. She sang like someone carrying years of pain. Years of silence. Years of heartbreak. Every lyric sounded honest. Every word felt alive. And suddenly, the audience understood why the producers stole her voice in the first place. Because it was unforgettable. A woman in the crowd wiped tears from her face. Woman. That voice. It's her. In less than 5 minutes, a cleaner became unforgettable. But Elena wasn't finished. She looked directly into the cameras, then revealed the final secret. Elena. Only 11% of donations reached sick children. The rest was stolen. The ballroom exploded into chaos. Crowd. What? The reporter asked. Do you have proof? Elena replied. Yes. Documents appeared on the giant screens. Bank transfers. Fake charities. Hidden accounts. Millions of dollars meant for sick children. Stolen by executives connected to Vanessa's organization. Including money families like Elena's desperately needed. Including money that could have helped Lily. The crowd turned furious. And Vanessa? She snapped completely. Vanessa stormed toward the stage screaming. You ruined everything. Security grabbed her before she reached Elena. Cameras flashed wildly. Guests shouted. Reporters chased producers through the ballroom. Outside the hotel, police cars arrived. The producer who helped steal Elena's career was escorted away in handcuffs. Reporter, did you steal Elena's music? Did you fake the charity donations? Years of lies collapsed in one single night. Because eventually, even the strongest lies break under the weight of truth. The next morning, Elena sat quietly beside Lily's hospital bed. Sunlight warmed the small room softly. For the first time in years, Elena looked peaceful. Lily smiled weakly as videos of the performance played online. Millions of views. Millions of comments. Millions finally hearing Elena's real voice. You finally sang for the world, Lily said. Elena gently held her sister's hand, replying, No, I sang for you. And in that moment, none of the fame mattered. Not the headlines, not the attention, not even the revenge. Because the only thing Elena ever truly wanted was to save the person she loved most. Weeks later, Elena Brooks stood alone on a concert stage, not as a cleaner, not as a forgotten woman, but as herself. The audience waited silently. Golden lights surrounded her softly, and for the first time, the world finally listened to the right voice. Because truth can be buried, ignored, mocked, even stolen. But real talent, real pain, and real courage always find a way to survive. The world ignored her when she was invisible. But eventually, the real voice will always be heard. That if stories like this keep you thinking long after the end, like and subscribe for more real-life mysteries where one small moment changes everything.